I'm going to tell you 90 seconds of trivia that you probably already know. You may or may not know, but we're going to go back. We're going to talk about an Apple II game, a game that I have played on the stream before. And the name of this game is Karateka. Karateka was the first game by Jordan Mechner. He was just out of high school, I believe. I read it. He's got a book. Jordan Mechner has a book, and it's absolutely awesome, fantastic to read. It's his journal of when he was making Karateka, and he talks about the technical parts of doing it, but he talks about the whole industry, just about like what it was like to make a, like one of the top 10 selling games of the year, or I think it was like at one point, like the number 1 or number 2 best selling game or best selling computer game of the year. And back when games were made by a dude, like one guy, it wasn't like a team and it wasn't a $10 million budget and all this stuff. It was, a guy sat down and made a game. But anyway, Jordan Mechner, if you're not familiar, he basically made 3 games. But the second game was Prince of Persia. And he kind of cornered the market on the rotoscoping. He's not the only guy that ever did it, but this thing where he was taking like 8mm movies in his backyard of people running around and jumping on things and doing that. And then he would take it and then would literally like trace it on his computer screen, like take, negatives or prints and put it on the computer screen and trace it. And that's how he got such a smooth animation and stuff, Karateka is not a fast game. It's faster on the Apple II than it was on the Commodore 64, which is kind of a bummer because, Commodore 64 always had better graphic potential, than the Apple II, better colors, better sound, and all that stuff. So anyway, this is an old Easter egg that you may or may not be familiar with. I think it's not a very obscure Easter egg. But on the Apple II, just like Commodore 64 and Atari computers, use what were called floppy disks, right? So you could put different things on the front and on the back, unlike double-sided discs like on the PC, where they're not the original 5 1/4, but even the original 5 1/4, right? Yeah, you didn't flip those over. Because it read both sides at the same time, right? But the Apple and Atari and Commodore only read one side of the disc. So you could put one game on the front, flip it over, put a different game on the back. Or when they were cracked, you could put a lot of games on the back, right? So Jordan Mechner came up with this funny idea, and Broderbund let him do it, which is funny because it had to be super expensive. It had to, production-wise, it had to cost a lot of money. But he basically took a version where he flipped the horizontal axis so that the game plays upside down. And he put it on the back side of the floppy. And so the joke is if you put the disc right side up and on an Apple and you play Karateka, it plays normally. But if you put it in the disc upside down and boot it, the game boots upside down. It actually caused them some grief. I think people actually called and complained and were like, oh, something's wrong with this game. It's playing upside down. And they had to tell people, no, you booted the game upside down. But the thing is that as time went on, that Easter egg kind of got lost because if you were going to pirate the game or copy the game or download it, nobody would put up side 2. It's an entire waste, and especially you would just get the game and put it on, you just download the game and then play it, right? So people wouldn't capture the entire disc and then the entire backside of the disc. There just would have been no reason to do that. So the only people that really ever saw this were people that bought Karateka back in the day, which I did. Well, I didn't buy it, but I got it as a Christmas present for the Apple II. And I don't know whatever. I I don't know what other computers have the upside down version. I know the Commodore 64 did not. And I think when you bought Karateka for the Commodore 64, it had the Atari version on the other side. It was one of those that had the Atari on one side and it had Commodore on the other side. So I know the Commodore did not have the upside down version, but the Apple II version definitely did, and it may be the only one. So we're going to do something kooky. We're going to play the upside down version of Karateka, and I'm going to try to beat it. Now, I tried it earlier just to see if it loaded up, and I played it for a few minutes, and I got to the part where there's a part where an eagle comes at you, and it's very, very hard to fight the eagle upside down. So I may use a save state and save it in between levels and save it right before we get to the eagle, just because it's really hard. But I'm hoping that I could get past that without using cheats or anything like that. My goal is to beat Karateka on one man, because you only get one man on the version. So let's flip over to the game screen. I had to load up a different game that was just silent, just as a placeholder here. Let's reboot. Now this is what you would have seen if you had put the opposite side of the game in. And you see we get the Karateka logo upside down. So there's something that I'm not seeing. The reason I didn't see something earlier. Where's my scroll? It says it's there. All right. The audio sound okay? I actually can hear just a tiny bit of it. And what's crazy about this is if you think about how old games were sold. There's Princess, what's her name? Martika? Something like that. Being banished. Is that for disc duplication, right? They would have had to, burn the backside of all these discs for a joke. Okay, so down is up is down, punch is kick. Oh, there we go. One time I spent a lot of time trying to draw that one time on a school folder. Okay, let's see here. Down is up, up is down. There we go. So that's punch, that's kick. So this would be opposite. All right. The early enemies in Karateka will basically stand in front of you. There's a lot we could talk about the strategy of Karateka. I move things out. These early guys are not very tough. The first level, this is more about learning your timing and your spacing. The biggest first of all, let me talk about this. Your distance away from your opponent. If you're standing your toes are touching, that means you're in kicking distance. So right now, neither of us can hit each other. When he moves over, one of us can kick the other. And so there's a little bit of strategy as to who moves first. If you're closer than that, then you can punch each other. You have to run to get further because you're trying to get to the end of the platforms or the end of the level. So if you don't run, this is the bad guy who has kidnapped the princess. He's sending bad guys after you. So we're running to the right. Yes, this is faster than the C64. Now this guy's running towards me. So we have to run. However, if we are in this running position and the bad guy punches or kicks us, we die instantly. And it's the end of the game. Oops, I got out of my fighting stance. Okay. But we do have to... Oh, nope, the buttons are reversed. Forgot, we're upside down. There is a thing at the end of the game, which is the other. It's not really an Easter egg, but at the end of the game, we have to save the princess, and if you approach her in the fighting stance, she will kick and kill you. You know what we'll do? We'll use a save state at the end, so we can see both endings. But now I've got to run, because if I just go in my fighting stance, I'll just be moving so slowly that we'll have to fight 30 guys on the first level. So you got to watch until the hit points arrive up there, and then immediately get out of your fighting stance. Now, one of the things about this game is that you kick faster than your opponents. And you can only kick 3 times before you put your foot down. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, and he'll kick, but his kicks are slower. So what happens sometimes is I'll try to kick 1, 2, 3, and he'll only be on 2, which means he gets a third hit in. It was almost treacherous right there. Now you can kick high, down, or low, medium, and high. So if he comes in like that, if he's not kicking, you can kick him in his knee. That's kind of a good one, but it pushes him back usually. See that? Then you've got this middle shot, and then of course you've got your high shot, which of course, the way I'm doing it, the high shot's low and the low shot's high. It's kind of it's difficult to get your hand around the upside down controls. And then you want to go up to stand up, and then diagonal right to run. We should have one more guy here. Yeah. The problem with some of these, when you get towards the end of a level, they don't have room to back up, so they get a little bit more aggressive. Now, on these, the first level, and this is the end of the first level once I get into this pagoda. There's one in the castle, one in the pagoda. You know I got rhymes like a pagoda. You know I was going to throw that out. So once, see, like this dude, he's like getting in my space, my personal space here. Oh, but you got to be careful to not like, see, like you fill up the buffer. So like I'm just holding down, or not holding down, but I'm just like hitting kick. Okay, now we got to get in here before another guy appears. And this will be our first cutscene. I believe this is listed as one of the first video games to have cutscenes. Oh, and now we are on level 2. Now there's some other, so things are going to get a little bit harder. Not really too hard. But what you're going to see is they're going to start playing with spacing. So, like, notice that he's he can't hit me, but I can't hit him, and he wants me to move forward so that he'll get the first shot in. See, I'm going to scooch over. Now, when you press left and right, if you just tap left and right, going for some head kicks here. If you tap left and right, you do a little scooch, and you move like a half a step. So, like, I'm going to time it. Move in half a step, and then try to get some shots in. Okay. Tap. But you got to tap it just right, or you'll walk right into those punches. Now, the other thing he can do is when you do half a step, if he does half a step at the same time, he's going to jam your kicks. They're not going to land, and then you're going to be sit and duck, and he's going to start just punching the crap out of your face. So, now, sometimes you can just go in and just like go in all kamikaze style like that. Especially when he gets in this little thing where he's not going to back down. See, I'll try to do some leg shots to move him back, although he's moving me back is the problem. I don't have that far back to go. Now there's another trick. You usually don't have to do it on level 2. Usually it's kind of a level 3 strategy. But if you watch what I'm doing here, And it's kind of hard to see because it's upside down. But I'm going to fake like I'm moving away, and then I'm going to immediately go back. So that draws him forward. He thinks I'm retreating, and then that gets him right into my space. The one thing that you don't want to do, or that you have to be careful of, is being in the right distance and throwing punches. Because if you're outside the punch zone, I'm going to call it, I've just named it that, the punch zone. All right, we need one more shot here. Let's get him let's just go over here and punch him. So punching when you're too far away, I like to call it, you know the old saying, bringing a knife to a gunfight? It's like bringing a punch to a kick fight. All right, so same thing now. We've got to run, and we got to make some time, because again, it's going to release enemies every so often. So, oh, now here comes the first round of the bird. Now the bird will be, oh, we got him. So the bird's only one punch, or a kick, or a punch or a kick. It doesn't matter. Oh boy, here he comes back. So it's high, middle, or low. I got him. The thing about it's much easier to punch the bird than it is to kick the bird. Okay, that went better than I expected. I'm just got to remember to punch the bird and not kick the bird. Okay, punch the bird. Somebody write that down. Okay. But the thing is, if you don't punch it, it will just sit there and eat your face. Like it just will attack you all over. Now this dude is being so aggressive that he's pretty easy to beat. Okay, so let's run. No, we don't need to save yet. But the end of this level does have there are many things in this game. Oh boy. All right, high, middle, or low. Oh, I missed him. Yeah, he just ate my face. He ate my face. What am I doing here? I'm kicking, I'm punching instead of kicking. So these dudes, like when they're aggressive like this, they're not that hard. You can just kind of keep just wailing at the air and they'll walk into your attacks eventually. But again, notice that I get my 3 kicks in faster than he gets his 3 kicks. So that becomes a problem because once my 3 kicks are done and I put my leg down, he's only thrown 2. So he gets a 3rd shot after the exchange. All right. So the top button is, normally it's punch is on the top and kick is on the bottom, but of course it's reversed. Okay, so we're going to do this trick. We're going to draw him forward and then, haha, didn't quite work. Let's try that again. There we go. What's up, Mac Apple? The apple of my eye. So the end of this level, there is a one-hit death waiting for you. You'll see this giant portcullis, and if you just try to walk underneath it, it will chop your face off, and you die. Come on, let's get this dude. Okay. So what you got to do is get right up next to it, just as close as you can, and throw a punch or a kick. Okay, here's the bird. High, middle, or low, high, middle, or low, high, middle, or low. Where is he? High. I missed him. So I go into the fight missing 2 or 3 hit points right off the bat. Yeah, punching the bird is... I was better at waxing the car than punching the bird. Come on. Come to daddy. There you go. There's a few shots for you in the face. I thought that the masks in this game that the bad guys wear were so cool. Some guys have helmets. This guy's got a helmet. Some of them have like these ornamental masks and stuff. I just thought it was all so cool. I love this game. This is the game that infamously, if you've read Commodore or listened to the podcast, you know this story, that I got this game for Christmas the year it came out. I don't know what it was. I think 84, 83. I don't know. It was early. And I beat it like the first or second time I played it. I don't know what it was about this game, but it was just the timing. Timing just wasn't that hard for me. And notice that he's regenerating hit points. I'm taking too long here. My dad got the receipt and took it back. We took it back to the mall. I think it came from Babbage's. And he was like, hey, we want a refund. We want to trade this for something else. And they were like, oh, is there something wrong with it? He's like, no, it's too easy. My kid beat it in one day. And they were like, all right, well, just get something else. That's kind of the way it worked back then. You could just take an open game back to the computer store and they'd go, all right, well, that's cool. Yeah, just get something else that you like. Ooh, I should have punched there when we both moved in. Come on. And we traded it for wizardry. And so that's how I got wizardry for the apple. Oh. That was a bad move. Bad strategy move on my part. I used to be friends with a guy on the Commodore who did mail order video rentals, and I never did it because you had to have a credit card, so you had to, as in case the game got screwed up or lost in the mail or something, I assume. But that was the only reason I didn't do it. But come on, die! Why don't you just die? Okay. Where are you? And I've got 6 hit points. That seems fair. So this dude's kind of hard because he's not going to back up. He can't really back up because he can't go underneath that gate. So he gets kind of aggressive here. So we will do a save state right before. We'll do a save state so I can show you what happens if you just run through the gates. Yeah, the big, well, there was one place that sold computer games. It's my parents' store. My parents had a computer software store, which I did not financially support, but Steel Rat did. And Steel Rat's parents bought him quite a few games from the store. In fact, that's where we got Bard's Tale, I believe, and maybe Realms of Impossibility and some other games. That's it. Yukon Software. Where's this dude? Come on over here, Fred. I got a little something for you. It's on the end of my foot. I wonder if I could drive him through the... Oh, no. See, he just kind of pushes you back if you get a little too close to the old portcullis, which I only know that word from Dungeons and Dragons. I remember like, come on, you dum-dum. It's weird because you're staring at the distance between two people's feet upside down, like two people's feet on the ceiling. That was not well timed. Neither was that. All right, here we go. Here's my old move. Ha ha! How about you? Man, I made such a good dad joke today, and I made a dad joke to my dad, and he did not acknowledge it. And I felt really mad. My dad sent me a text, and he said, hey, if you're not doing anything, Turner Classic Movies is showing pirate movies all day on TV. And I sent him a text back and I said, are they all PG or are any of them rated R? I was so happy with my joke. And he did not reply. All right. Oh, man. There we go. If I get, there's like one little spot right there where you get him and he kind of freaks out because you're getting too close to that little thing. If I can get him right there. All right, just a couple more kicks. Okay, so let me hit F11. And I'm going to save state. Now, okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to run through these things and watch. And game's over. That's it. You're died. You see your blood coming out there? And you would have had no way to know that as a kid. You just got that point. Yeah, it's brutal. So we're going to do F12. We're going to load our save state back up. And instead, what you're going to do is you got to kick and set it off. So your foot sets it off. And as it's moving back up, oh, I mistimed that. I was taking a drink. Let's try that again. Okay, you set it off. It's a little hard to judge the depth or the distance as it's going up while we're all upside down here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that there's multiple things in this game where that happens. So now we're on level 3. These dudes are going to get a little harder. And a little bit more aggressive. So you're going to see them start moving into your space. Now, this is one of those helmets I loved as a kid. I would draw little like ninjas and action figures on my school folders, and I would like try to copy these helmets and stuff. Come on, buddy. Go for some headshots. I don't know if you want to kick a guy in a horned helmet in the head too often. There is another kick you can do. It's not a different kick, but it's depends on your spacing. And the way that you do it is when you're really far away, you can be walking towards them. Your legs will kind of cross over, and then you'll do a kick. And it's a way to cover a bunch of ground. Oops. There we go. Driving back a little bit. Let's both go forward and then let's punch it right in the face. Now these are tricks. See, I just lost a hit point for hitting that door. And now we got to go to the next room. But at any point, if I'm standing up like that, like on my running stance, and I run into a guy, I'm dead instantly. Game over. Instant death. True death. 400 horsepower. Maximum performance. Piercing the night. This is white Karateka. All right. Come on over here. Come get some. So some of the parts about Karateka that lull you into tricks. They lull you in by tricks. So, for example, on this level, you go to a room, and once you beat the guy, you have to go over to the other side, kick the door, go to the next room. And then there's when you get towards the end of this level, when you kick the door open, a guy just comes running through and starts attacking you. So there's definitely so there's just some like it lulls you in with patterns and then it breaks the pattern, and that's what makes it hard. I think that yes, I agree with you that the Apple II version of Karateka is was probably the best version until didn't they make a I might be thinking of Prince of Persia, but didn't they port? I want to say they ported this to the Amiga. I don't remember, but I know that for the most part this was a 18-bit or a 18-bit. Wow. Now I'm an expert on 18-bit computers. You know what? I'm going to make a new Patreon level and make it 18-bit. You know, should we talk about Patreon? I don't know if we should talk about Patreon. Let's not talk about Patreon. Patreon's not going good. I mean, I think it's going great for me because, like, I could just use it as my personal blog. I love it for that. Like, I can just blog about stuff and post videos and do different things. So I'm enjoying that part of it. And I'm so blessed to have the people support me for Sprite Castle and You Don't Know Flack. And I think I'm starting off 2023 with something. I tried it last year and I enjoyed it. Which was I let people vote on what game I was going to do. I should be able to get in a slugfest and just take this out here. Oh, shoot. I'm down to 2 hit points. That was not the best. But I get my hit points back after the fight. So I like the idea of yeah, see, there's already a dude waiting here for me. So if I'd have been running, I would have had to immediately jump out. But unfortunately, you know, one of the things that I said, like, I want to spend some time this year working on the van. Man, I got a really good van video. It's like halfway done. Like, I got some of the footage, but I did some work on the van the other day. And I think it's going to turn out really cool. But when I announced on my Patreon that I was going to I was going to cut back just slightly on podcasts or whatever, I had 3 people immediately move the Patreon. Let's see. Petzl says, hold on, I'm getting my butt kicked here. You can't see the yeah, you know what? It's not the best support. I mean, it's not the best like ability to follow a blog like WordPress where you would subscribe to get to see the results or see the responses and stuff like that. Yeah, you are right about that. It's not really meant for like ongoing long-term conversations, I would say. It's more like it's kind of one-sided. It is. I mean, I think that's what. Maybe not necessarily, that's not how I would prefer to use it. I would rather it was a conversation because that's kind of like I've always seen the community as, you know, give and take, right? Like, I want to know what you guys think. I want, you know, so I like it to be more of a conversation. But yeah, Patreon's just not really kind of set up to do that, unfortunately. But one of the things that I've learned too over time is that like Patreon's definitely not perfect. None of them are perfect, right? But the more barriers and hoops and walls that you put up between the content and the people, the less that they'll do it, you know? I mean, the less that they will engage with it and view it and interact and stuff like that. Like I've tried, you know, like, oh, you know, pay for this to download or down, you know, do this, and people won't do it. You know, I've told this before, but I get emails to this day. I get emails from people that are like, oh, I love your book Commodore. I pirated it, you know, and this and that. And then they want to like chat about it and this and that. And I always want to go like, it's $3. Like the PDF is $3. I mean, I get it. Like, and we've all downloaded stuff, right? But that's always the weird one is when it's not like, I have had people and, there's my wife will be the first one to tell you that you should always assume good intentions, right? Like, don't just assume. But I've had people, there was a time when I first started Patreon, one of the things I did was I put all my ebooks on there and stuff. And so it was like when you joined Patreon, that was one of the things you got. You got access to all my books in PDF format and stuff like that. And I would watch people that I knew. And when I say knew, I mean, people I interacted with online and stuff that would join my Patreon and download every single thing like for 1 month and then drop it. And I would much rather somebody just go, I give away copies of my books all the time. People send me an email and they're like, oh, I'd like to read your next book. I go, yeah, here it is. I just send it. Now see, this is a guy I can't get in a punch and kick match with him. All right, now let's not lose our hit points here. Let's kick this door. Like I said, okay, hold on. We should probably save. Okay. Actually, this dude's not as bad as I thought. Oh, but I got to hit the right button. If I'm punching in a kick fight, it's going to be bad. This guy will actually drive you back into the other room. So I'm kind of I'm happy with Patreon, but also I feel like you get sometimes if you run your own Patreon page, you get these newsletters from Patreon and they're like, listen, it's like, here's ways to make your Patreon grow. Go to your social media and be sure to mention your Patreon 5 times a week. I'm not doing that. I already feel bad about mentioning it on the show and stuff. Like it is what it is. And the reality is the money does go towards the show and it does help with the podcast and stuff. So, it definitely helps out. And also I feel like, the people that do support it, I try to make sure that they get something a little bit extra, whether it's interaction or input on the show or, stuff like that. So it's always appreciated, but I just, I don't know. I'm not good at plugging myself like that in that way, All right. This dude regenerates his hit points pretty quick. So it's not just that it looks bad, right? You go, wow, you get 5 or 6 hit points and he gets, 15. But it's worse than it looks because not only does he get that many, but if you'll watch, his rebuild pretty fast. All right. Move in for a punch. Move in to get kicked in the face. Try some low kicks. Nope, too far away. Yeah, I really do like doing the live stream. The live stream is one of those things that, it is a time, what's the right word? I don't want to say time sucker, but it's definitely an obligation because it's not just like, okay, if I'm going to stream from 7 to 9, you go, well, that's 2 hours. But in reality, I got to come in here and first of all, I got to adjust when we're going to eat dinner. That's where it starts is like I can't go out and eat. I can't, we can't eat at 6:30 or something because I got to get stuff set up. So that's, I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's more than just that 2 hours. It's much longer than that. And then half the time, and maybe tonight, when the stream's over, then I call Steel Rat, and then we BS for a couple hours. Not that you can't count that in the time of the stream, but okay, what are you doing there? There you go. Move in. Come get some. Man, this guy is tough. But we're getting close to the end of this level, and then we're getting close to the end of the game. Trying to get a punch in. Tried to get a kick in, and he sure did. Okay, so I'm going to start using my trick here where I move away, and then when he moves in, all right, that works pretty good. It is 8 p.m. here now, Central Time. For those of you that are on the Patreon, I have thought about before doing like maybe a once a month like get together chat thing. Do you think that's something that would go over well, or is that just like, or would you? Oh, now look at my hit points. Oh, now you got to beat this bird. See, so the bird has. See, I'm way too close to the bird. So I can't even hit the button fast enough. Well, that was low. No, I probably should have saved my... Too late. Got him. Too late. Got him. Got him. Got him. Okay. So, save our state here. Oh no, I reloaded the state. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I reloaded it instead of saving it. Oh no. I just jumped backwards in time. Oh, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. No. This is why you should never use save states. No. Now I got to beat this dude again and the bird again. Oh, gee whiz. That's bad. That's karma. That's what you get for using save states, you dummy. That's karma. Hey, Tintin. So, boy, this guy is hard. Oh, so this is the B side to the original Karateka for the Apple II, and so there was a Easter egg that Broderbund and Jordan Mechner put into Karateka, which was if you booted the disc, the opposite side, the B side, booted it upside down, then the game actually played upside down. And so I believe. I know people have shown this online, but I don't believe anybody has ever beaten the upside down version on a stream before. And so that is our goal tonight. And so I had just beat the hardest two enemies in the game and was going to save the state to show the ending. And then instead of saving the state, I loaded the state right before I fought this guy. And so I've unfortunately thrown us back in time. Although it looks like I might need that save state again. I'm not doing very good against this guy at all. Okay, so let's use one of our tricks. We'll go back and then we'll go, ha-ha! We're not going backwards. We're going forward. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Watch the feet. Shuffle. Pivot, pivot. Shuffle. There we go. Remember, kids, don't bring a punch to a kick fight. Okay. Shuffle. This dude's hard. Those are actually good because it didn't drive him back. And I was able to get multiple shots in. Man. Come on now, don't let him build back all his hit points. I'll be here all night. There we go. Wow, one shot. Take that. Oh, we're so close. I should be punching. Come on. Come on. Have at you. There we go. Yeah. So this is another case where you can see that this guy gets his 3 kicks that are slower than my kicks. So he always gets that last kick in the exchange. If I could drive him back just a little bit closer to that door. That attack is not working. Let's try a different attack. Gosh, oh, it's not going good. What am I at? 3 hit points? 4. If you'd stay right there in that range. Come get some. We'll take that. No, not good. So what I'm trying to do is time my shuffle right when he's throwing his second kick. So watch, he'll throw 1, 2, and then I could kind of shuffle into the end of his attack and then hopefully get my leg up before he gets his next kick off. So like right now, there, just like that. It's not perfect because if he gets his kick up faster, or like that, 2. Oh boy. Staying just out of reach here. This is like a standoff. See how he will not move into range? He wants me to make the range. Yep. And now all his hit points are back, most of them. I've got to wait till that third kick. Okay, let's try my other technique again. Let's go back. There, we're leaving the fight. No, we're back. Okay, that wasn't too bad, actually. Let's try that again. Well, we're going to go over here. Nope. We're going to be right here. Wait for your face. Throw a kick and put it down. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. When it works, it's not too bad. No, I'm kicking you. You're not kicking me. All right. Kick away, kick away, kick away. Stupid yank. Oh, I'm at 2 hit points. No, back up, back up, back up. 1 hit point. This is not going good. Not going good. Can't move in. Wouldn't be prudent. 1,000 kicks a light. Man, this dude's hard. The only thing that seems to have worked is that little punch attack I was doing. Okay, not too close. Man, it's so hard to judge the distance upside down. Why would you play this stupid game upside down? I don't know. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going kamikaze style. It didn't work. It also didn't work. Okay, we got him on the run now. Okay. Now my hit point should go all the way up. And what doesn't matter, let's hit save state, not reload save state. And so now what we got to do is kick this door open and then run back to the middle of the room. Okay, let's get back over here. All right, high, middle, low, that's a high. Got us. Let's try it again. That's a low. You got us. That's a high, but I press low because it's upside down. High. Got him. High. He ate our face. That's a low. Got him. All right. It's a middle. Bam! Punch in the beak. High. Boom. High, middle, low. Where are you coming? High. Bye! Oh, no. He ate my face. Hang on. And it's a low. Yeah! Death to birds. Now let's save and not okay, so now we just saved. Now we're going to have a problem. Oh, and I just lost a hit point by going into the door. Oh, man, that was some good chicken. Now, this dude, I think, just comes right through the door at me. No, he's right on the other side of the door. Yeah, there he is. There's the main bad guy. That's the guy that was in the very beginning. This is the dude that stole our princess. This is it. This is the fight. This is what everybody came to see. And actually, I don't think he's as hard as the last guy because he's so aggressive that he keeps getting in the kick zone. I think the last guy is actually, I mean, the previous guy is actually harder than this guy. If you could see him right side up, he's really cool looking. I mean, that's not a normal bird. That ain't your normal bird. That's like a 30-pound Thanksgiving turkey. It's got like those turkey steroids. It's all injected with turkey steroids. It's very, very aggressive. Okay. Oops. I let him get in the kick zone and then I didn't kick him. There he is. Yeah, I really do think this guy's easier than that last guy. That last guy was the next to last guard is so hard. Not to be confused with the bird. Oh, I'm just going over here. No, I'm coming back for punches in the face. Am I going to win this? Mutual death. Okay, so let's see. Let's reload this. All right, so this was where we went over. So we beat the bird. We beat the dude. I think. Yes. Lose a hit point every time to a door. I wonder if I could just stay right here. And just put some pressure on him. I'm going to eventually lose these. No kidding. That should be double KO should be harder than just a regular win in the game. All right, let's back this up a little bit so we can see what's going on here. Come on, dude. Come get some. Put your leg down. I want to give you a present on your knee. And then after we beat this guy, which we will beat this guy this time. Although I would really like a drink of Diet Dr. Pepper. It's so close. He is so... We're both in the kick zone and we're just kicking at the exact same time. Let me change my attack up there a little bit. Well, that's the best when he just stands there and takes him because you get 3 shots in. Just like that. Telegram from Mongo. Come on now. It's like we're playing footsies in the air. Let's change it up. You want some in the knee? You want headshot? There we go. I'm getting some. As long as we play this little game. Oh, not that game. Come on. See, this guy's not quite as patient as that last guy. He'll move into the zone. And by the way, remind me if I try to stand and trade punches with him that I should have 1 or 2 more hit points than him next time. Oh, I got a scratch on my neck. Had to move out of the zone. All right, here we go. Oh, just stand there. There you go. There's good 3. There's another one. Come get another one. Some more. If I can get one more 3. Come on in. Oh. Okay, one more. One more. Don't build more hit points. Come on, one more. Okay, we're going for it. Come on. Okay, so now we're going to save the state one last time. And now I'm going to show you the 2 alternate endings to this game. The first is if you approach the princess. So here's the princess who we've been trying to save the whole game. Notice she's got her hands. She's all this. And let's see what happens if we approach her in a fighting stance. Game over. Game over. She kills you. So let's load that same state. But instead of approaching her in the fighting stance, notice she's here. We will stand and we will run into her arms where we are defenseless. Now, the whole game has trained you the entire time not to do that. And then this is the real ending when you have beaten Karateka. Made me cry first time I did it. I thought that's how the game ended. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. I thought it was like a joke. I bet that's a lot easier to read when it's right side up. And there you have it, Karateka. The B-side of the Apple II disc. I hate to hit spacebar because I know at some point it goes to credits and stuff, but I don't know if you have to hit spacebar to move it to the credits. Let's try it. Oh, can't do anything. Yeah, that's what I always thought, Steve Burt's like, why was she just laying and waiting like that all that time? desktop audio down just a tiny little bit. I think she kidnapped herself. Maybe she kidnapped herself. Oh, man. Well, that's a toughie. I'll tell you what. Until you've stood upside down and fought a killer bird, punched him in his beak, I feel like this was training me for later in life. My wife claims that she can harness the power of birds and have them attack me. So I think this is where my beef with birds actually started. Do you think, I mean, if you bought this game, just stay here forever? Like, I can't seem to do anything. Guess that's it. Control S turns off the sound. Escape? No, escape pauses the emulator. I guess that's it. I can't even read a lot of that. Huh. Well, there you go. That is, that's, no, I did that. I hit escape. It just pauses it. But it's my new ringtone. It's a ringtone that, you know what? I will, I'll take a screenshot of it and I'll post it on the Discord. Or I'll post it on the Discord and I'll post it on Twitter. Hey, if we post it, you can also reverse it and make it a little bit easier. Well, we did it. I don't know that anybody else has ever done that, which is kind of like saying, like, I don't know that anybody ever jumped off a building and landed on their head and lived. Like, I don't know why you'd want to do it, but we did it. So, thanks to everybody for tuning in for Wednesday night stream. I had a feeling that I could beat it. I've never actually beat it, the upside down version. I've played the upside down version briefly, but I've never beat it all the way. So that was kind of fun. I will post I'll post the upside down image and we can flip it around and read it. Let's see. On Patreon, I'm going to be posting, I've got some games picked out for Sprite Castle. So I want to try to do Sprite Castle closer to the middle of the month rather than right at the end. I think that's more fun to spread them out a little bit. So, yeah, if you didn't listen to the big fun episode of You Don't Know Flag, I think Tintin's the only person that liked it. He's the only person that commented on it. Yeah, the big fun was a crazy. That was a crazy website, a crazy time. Well, you know, I can turn down the audio as it goes to the desktop, but not in my ear. It's still loud. It's just penetrating. It's like just little Apple II sharp jabs at my eardrums. Yeah, we'll throw out, maybe come up with some ideas for You Don't Know Flack and Sprite Castle, put those up for votes. I think that was kind of fun on the Discord and or on the Patreon. And other than that, I think that's everything. I hope everybody's enjoying the Rando Rob things. Yeah, it's easy to get lost in, for sure. For sure. I've been lost in it for 30 years. So, but I think that's it. So, thanks everybody for coming out. I feel like it's a short one, even though we've been online for almost an hour and a half, but just fighting a bird takes it out of you. I don't like punching birds. I mean, not in video games. I'm okay with it in real life. I'll fight a bird. I went to a party one night and with Steel Rat, and I think it might have been a New Year's Eve party, and there was a bird cage in the living room, and the guy said, please don't lift the sheet off that bird cage, and someone lifted it, and it was not a bird, it was a monkey. And then we were like, you have a monkey? And then I don't even remember whose house it was. I'm sure Jeff remembers whose house it was. And then the monkey just threw poop and screamed for hours. And then everybody was like, wow, now we know why you said don't lift the sheet. So let that be a lesson to you. If you ever see a sleeping monkey, don't wake it. That's advice from me to you. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. And you will be hearing and seeing stuff from me soon. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys.